Good afternoon to the family of Johnetta Jones, my mother in her absence, President Hinkin, EIU family. It's not easy for me to be here today, having just recently spent some time with Johnetta. But we are here, and what gives us strength about this occasion is we're here actually in submission to the will of God. It is not us who took Johnetta away, but it is the Lord who took Johnetta with him. There are many stories we can say about our experiences with her. I can certainly share many with you. She was funny. I used to have a very good time with her. She would always say, well, you know, Nate is like this, or let's just say it. So turn things around. She also cared so much about the students at Eastern. She served her university. She served people. She said very little about herself. And you know, as I was trying to contemplate, you know, what would I say here today? It's not, and Jonetta's already said it. She's already done it. She's already did the work. And we remember the work that she provided for us. She certainly was my resource and trying to get students in school, students to finish school, and to follow them as they went on with their lives. She was so good at that, she got me to donate $10,000 to the university. Came all the way down to East St. Louis and asked me, and I said yes. So nobody, I don't do that to nobody. So Johnetta was a very magnetic, forceful, kind person. I want to spend this time that I have left and say that I'll miss her. I already missed her when I passed by the building. I always look over there and spend some time with her. But I want to say to the students that to continue to move forward. I look at some of the students who are reading me today. Some of them are from the district where I work, and they're here, and they're progressing because of the efforts and the support that Johnetta Jones had in their lives. I hope that they'll continue to remember that, and there are others in this world who will do services, but we won't meet many who gave of themselves as much as Johnetta Jones. And thank you very much to the family.
First, Dr. Anderson, thank you for the $10,000. We'll be coming around to others later. I only have 3 to 4 minutes to talk. If I were to talk about Johnetta Jones's accomplishments, we would be here until 8 p.m. tonight, and that would only be talking about her accomplishments in the first year that she was here. Therefore, because my time is limited, let me summarize my feelings in one sentence. The university has suffered a terrible and tragic loss, and Johnetta Jones will be sorely missed. You know, no one is indispensable. The world goes on even without us. But Johnetta is one of the very select group of people that I consider being as close to indispensable as you can possibly get. When Johnetta would come to see me, and she'd say, let's talk, okay? I knew 2 things were going to happen. She had a project that was going to cost me money, and she had a project that was going to help students, all students. Jonetta's official title was Director of Minority Affairs, but she was a friend, an advocate for all students. She believed in people. Believed that if given the chance, and with the right coaching, people could and would succeed. There are students who should have never been admitted to Eastern Illinois University because according to their test scores, they were not supposed to succeed. Johnetta took a chance, and the majority of these students did graduate and went on to become productive members of society. When we unveiled the portrait of Carol Searles, I made a comment that as administrators, staff, and faculty members, We all have one common goal: to leave the university in a better condition than when we arrived. Johnetta did more than just leave EIU in a better condition than when she found it. Johnetta Jones took that saying one step further, and she left a lesson for all of us to follow. Through her hard work and dedication, through her love of students and the university, and through her love of people, she left the world in a better condition than when she found it. The world is a better place because of the life of Johnetta Jones.
The telephone call came at 11:20 p.m. Saturday night. It was not unexpected after the calls I'd had earlier that day. But you will, of course, say something at the remembrance. It was not really a question. So I sat at the computer, the blank screen staring at me. My hand started for the keyboard. But what could I possibly say? Johnetta had been a member of the search committee that had so much to do with my being here in my current position as provost. Her questions had been among the most perceptive and playful of any on the committee. By that time, I had done a good deal of interviewing, and I welcomed having some truly unusual questions. When I finally arrived to assume this new position, everyone said, there's a theme here, be careful when Johnetta asks for an appointment. You will most certainly be separated from some money, even if you don't know it. They were right. I usually was separated from funds, and it was always the right thing for Eastern. So I could reflect then on our contributions to this university and to her students. That's always what her visits were about. So my hand started for the keyboard again. But she was so much more than just her contributions to this institution. She gave her heart and soul to all those in her programs. In fact, she gave her heart and soul to anyone smart enough to have it. One time I told her that she was the mother superior to all she took under her wing. She seemed to like that reference. She laughed heartily. So I could talk then about how she was so much more than just her contributions. It was, after all, who she was, not what she accomplished, that was most meaningful. Once again, my hand started to rise. And yet when I really think about Johnetta, it's her friendship that I remember most. She was my advisor, or shall I say, one of my advisors, in this challenging position. I didn't always do precisely what she suggested, but I always listened, and listened carefully. As a new administrator here, I needed plenty of advice on a regular basis, and Johnetta was willing to give it to me. Therefore, I could share what a great and loyal friend she was. Looked at the keyboard once again. But it occurred to me that everyone already knows all this about Johnetta. We will, of course, move on. That is the way of things. But what a legacy. She was an original, and she will be profoundly missed. And yet, what a joy that she was with us for so many years.
If I can help somebody as I travel alone, if I can cheer